Hi guys! Today I have a special guest, which is kind of a special guest by default because she saw that I was about to go live and my kids are so, what's the word, photogenic, whatever, how you pronounce that word, where is because I run my business from home, when they see a camera and my ring light on, they make it their mission to hop on, especially the younger kids, like my 1-year-olds and Tori. This is Tori, Baby V, and Warren. But Warren's at school right now. And I really need to do this video now because the rest of the afternoon I'm going to be doing client calls and I'm just going to be doing a lot of mommy stuff. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're watching this on the replay, do me a quick favor and type in hashtag replay below. I'm Letitia Campbell, your #1 email marketing strategist, CEO and founder of the Camel Success Network, and the creator of my Emailpreneur Tribe, which is my private coaching community where I help my clients grow and scale their businesses ethically and organically, all through leveraging email marketing. And we actually write out our clients' emails and also their ads as well. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so I really wanted to talk about this particular subject because this morning I was on Forbes.com. You guys all know what Forbes is. They have a magazine and all that stuff. And, you know, they really are like the, like a staple point of learning about, you know, business and all these different things, influencers, stuff like that. But I've been doing a lot of research on there. Well, I actually was typing in some keywords into Google, and this article actually popped up through Forbes, and it talked about millennials, right? It really talked about millennials, and it really struck me because I am a millennial. So for those of you who are wondering whether or not you're a millennial, and obviously people can argue this, who's a millennial, who's not a millennial, who's a Generation X, who's a whatever, baby boomer, what have you. But according to facts, and again, you guys can have your own personal opinion, some people do, millennials are in between the years of 1977, okay, and 1995. I actually wrote that down, 1977 to 1995. So if you was born in between those years, okay, type in hashtag millennial below. Okay, type in hashtag millennial below. So I was born in between 1977 and 1995. And what I noticed from this article, and I'm going to explain what the article said in just a second, but I just want to give you guys sort of like a journey of my childhood and me going into teenage and adulthood. You know, so obviously I grew up, you know, in between in the 80s, early 80s, that's when I was born. And, you know, education was really big, you know, in our society back then. It still is now, but not as hard as it was back then. Like, education was a huge thing for us growing up back then. Like, you had to get good grades. You had to go to school. I mean, we really didn't hang out that much. Nowadays, kids be going to, when I drop my kids off at school, especially my kids who are in middle school, I'll be looking at other kids going across the street to the store or going up the road to the store after their parents or after they just got off the bus. And I'm just like, oh my God, I couldn't do that. When I was younger and I was in middle school, high school, I would have such a big fear of doing anything that I wasn't supposed to be doing, and let alone being dropped off at school and then walking up the street to a convenience store to get something or what have you. Give me 1 second, y'all. I gotta blow my nose. Oh my God. So I don't have a cold, y'all. It's just my sinuses is so bad. I gotta go see an EMT. So anyway, ear, nose, throat doctor. Yeah. So anywho's, guys. So, you know, I grew up in that era of like, listen, you got to get good grades, education. That's priority. You can't get anywhere in life without a degree, right? And back then, I believe if you like getting an associate's degree was big. As I gotten older, people like, no, you got to get a bachelor's degree, right? You got to have that, right? So, like I said, education was big in our era. But what happened was, when I went to college, you know, and I did my 4 years, I got my degree, what have you. The year that I graduated college, what happened was the economy went upside freaking down. Like, hey, Therese, like, it was bad. Like, y'all don't understand. Like, if y'all was to go back to the crash before the last crash, that was what happened. So going back further than that, when I graduated high school, that's when September 11th happened. Okay, that's what, because I remember this. I graduated that year, and then that summer, right? I think, okay, there was 3 deaths going on. Actually, there was a lot of deaths going on that year. March of that year, oh my God, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all having me go back into memory lane. I'm trying to remember what year I graduated. Whatever year this September 11th thing happened, that's the year I graduated. But anyway, that March of that year, my uncle passed away. Okay, so that was really hard because before my uncle passed away, my great-great-grandmother passed away that year. Like I think in January of that year, she passed away. Then 2 months later, I remember my uncle Michael passing away. Those 2 individuals huge in my life. Okay, and then I think it was 2001 because the following year I met my husband. So boom. Okay, so so now I'm in the right vein here. So again, after my Uncle Michael passed away, then my dad passed away. Okay, that August, he passed away. And then after he passed away, Aaliyah, the singer, I don't know if y'all remember Aaliyah. Y'all should know who she is. She was like a huge R&B singer back then. Everyone loved her, including myself. She passed away in the plane crash. And then a couple weeks later, I'm sitting, 2001. Yeah, that's the year I graduated high school. Thank you, Trace. Girl, I got all these kids. It's hard. It's so funny. I'll be at the doctor's office or somewhere where I'm signing my kids up for something. And they're like, okay, what's the year all your kids were born? And child, listen, I'll be like, wait, 2007 was the first and 2010 second. Girl, I got so many years and dates to remember. It's bad. So, and I even be forgetting my own age. So that's when people be asking me how old I am. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. 1982 minus. Like, for real. So, like I was saying, Leah passed away. Then a couple of weeks after that, I'm sitting, in my sister's room. We were in my old hometown. I'm from Westbury, Long Island, if y'all don't know. Woo woo, go Barry. I'm sitting in my sister's room, and, we had one of those TVs that sat on a dresser. So we had this high dresser, and her TV sat on it. I remember exactly what I eat. I was eating sausage and eggs, okay? And, girl, you writing all over my desk here. I was eating sausage and eggs, and I'm sitting there, tearing the eggs down. And I look up, and I see smoke, like a building, like the towers, one of the towers on fire, So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, it didn't hit me at that time that this was a terrorist thing, and it wasn't reported that time, like early on until hours later, but I thought it was like the plane crashed by accident. Like, I don't know, I was young back then, so I really thought like, hey, the plane, maybe it happened by accident, because years earlier, if you guys look back into research, there was a plane that ran into it, but it went on, it was either a helicopter or plane that hit like the top of the building, like the little antenna. There used to be antennas, long antennas above the World Trade Center a long time ago, for their signal and all that stuff. And a plane did hit that. So I thought it was similar to that. And then it didn't dawn on me until that second plane hit. And I was like, oh shit, what's going on? I'm sorry. Ooh, sorry. Excuse my French, baby. I knew after that, I was like, oh my God, our faces was glued to the television, girl. Glued. Because my uncle was working, worked a block away from the Twin Towers, and we couldn't get a hold of him. It was really, I was so worried. But he ended up making it home. He wasn't hurt or anything like that. Love you, Uncle James. So I graduated high school when the September 11th happened. Went to college, okay, and when I graduated college years later, oh girl, the economy went tanked. It really went tank. The real estate market was horrible. People were getting laid off. You know, millennials like myself was at the highest at when it came to unemployment. We had high unemployment. Whole bunch of kids was made. You know, millennials. Looking back, we represent from 1977. If you were born between 1977 and 1995, you represent. There were 83 million babies born in between 1977. You can't do that, Miss Thing. Miss Thing. There was 83 million babies born in between, over 83 million babies born in between 1977 and 1995. So that's a lot of babies, right? So, like I said, we had a sort of like an unfair advantage, you know, growing up and then stepping into adulthood because we wasn't prepared for the life that we were being born into. We wasn't prepared at all. You know, we were told, get a good job, good grades, get good grades, get a college degree, get a great career, and retire. Right? But my life didn't happen that way. It didn't happen that way at all. You know, I couldn't get a job in the degree that I was pursuing. You know, when I graduated college, my degree didn't mean anything. Like, it was just a waste of, I'm not going to say a waste of time, but it was just paper, you know, at that point. And I went straight into sales. I didn't, you know, I never had a job. I never had a job within the in the career that I went to college for. That's how bad. I went to, you know, I have a degree in networking administrations. Okay, so from time I graduated to now, that industry has never picked back up, ever. Okay, so again, I just have a piece of paper, you know. So that's what I say when I tell people, "Hey, I'm a college graduate." I'm like, "Okay, woo, that doesn't mean anything because what I went to school for, I can't even use that to support my family to this day." So we had an unfair advantage, guys. You know, how many people were born in between 1977 and 1995 and you were graduating from college and you thought like, hey, I'm going to start my career. I'm a, you know, pay off these loans. I'm a, you know, like, didn't happen. It didn't happen. You know, we had the large, I don't know any millennial that I know that hasn't gone through bankruptcy. A lot of the people who were born that I know, the friends that I have that were born in between 1977 and 1995 had at least 2 bankruptcies. Okay, let's just put it out there on the table. Has credit plummeted? I mean, everything, because we were the generation of survival mode. That we had to do a lot of different things. Okay, have a lot of different jobs or what have you that we were overqualified for to support our families because we were still, you know, making babies. Okay, you know, having relationships, getting married. You know, still living our lives. Okay, but we were, we graduated into a Great Depression. Educationally, financially, all those things. So I was doing some research on Forbes today, and an article came up, and it said, you know, millennials represented, you know, over 83 million babies was born in between 1977 and 1995. 84%, somebody please do me a favor and put 84% down below. 84% of the over 83 million babies that were born between 1977 and 1995 started a business. What were the top industries? Y'all want to know? The top industries, okay, was sales, network marketing, affiliate marketing, service businesses, you know, all those skill sets like mechanics and cooking and all those things. We're the ones. Hey, Zen. We're the ones that was working in those fields because I could not get a job in my field when I graduated college back then. So I had to find sales jobs. I had to find jobs to where I controlled how much money I was going to make, to where there was no cap or anything like that, right? So I had to learn how to approach people. I had to learn how to pitch people, things like that, right? So that's why I'm saying, you know, when I sat back and I was looking at my brand and the problem that I solved and all these things. I really dive deeper into, yes, I work with women who are entrepreneurs, but my main target audience is millennialpreneurs. Women like me that were born from 1977 to 1995, and we had an unfair advantage, going into the workforce, because there were no workforce back then when we were graduating college and things like that. And we are the ones who drew out the path of grinding and hustling and doing what you had to do to make things happen. We had extreme unfair advantage, because another thing that a lot of people don't talk about is in between 1977 and 1995, that's when the drug industry was like blowing up, honey. Okay. And for some of us, like myself, that trickled down into our family. Right? So we have the trauma from seeing that. And those of y'all who are my clients, y'all know my story in a deep way. But having to be around that. So again, trauma from that, trauma from not having a job in your field that you went to school for. I mean, so girl, you can't be, girl, you trying to get me in trouble. We allow having you eating pins. I took it away from her, y'all. Yes, I took it. Yeah. Don't point at them. It was you, honey. It was you. Stop. Yeah. Sorry, y'all. If I put her down, she's gonna start screaming and crying. So I'm rather just pick her up. So this particular article was published in June of this year. So this is like current, data, current facts, y'all, on how it's so important that, we have to know not only, who we serve, but why. Why is it? So again, we make up the large amount of entrepreneurship, starting a business, things like that. If you are a millennial and you feel that you have that unfair advantage, let's talk about it. I would love to start like some type of panel discussion just for women who were born in between the years of 1977 and 1995. And I want, to hear you guys' stories and how all of our stories, even though different, is somewhat unique, because you somehow or some way had that passion to start a business, had that passion to help people, have that passion to make money, outside of a job. Okay, she found her dad's picture. That's daddy. Yes, it is. This is my husband, guys, when he was a little boy in Jamaica. In Jamaica with his little teddy bear t-shirt. Yeah, we found this. Yeah, that's Dad. He looks just like you, honey. Look at it. Look at the eyes. We're going to do a Maury side by side. Yeah, that's Dad. Yeah, when he was a little boy. In little Jamaica, honey. Yes. Yeah, you Google. It's Dad. You want to go take that picture and show it? No? Okay, fine. She's just going to hold it. All right, y'all. Yeah, like I said, I want to start like some form of millennialpreneurs, right? I'm actually going to rename my group to millennialpreneurs. I already have the team working on the graphic for that now, because honestly, that is definitely my audience. And if you were born in between 1977 and 1995 and you started a business and you still have a business, you're definitely going to need email marketing. I would love to work with you because I understand your hustle. I understand why you go so hard and so strong, because back then you had no choice. You didn't have a family. Like, your family probably was so screwed up. Like, let's just be honest. I know mine was so screwed up that when you was out there being as a freshly college graduate, couldn't find a job, you did not have a family to say, I'm gonna just stay with you. Right? I'm gonna just stay with you. No, we didn't have that. I didn't have I had to make it happen or be in a shelter or something like that. I didn't have a choice. So again, we didn't have that foundation. We didn't have those individuals in our lives that could carry us and spot us and help us with groceries and things like that. We just didn't have that. We had to make it happen or die. Simple as that. Make it happen. Max out our credit cards. Hello? Max out our credit cards. Get more credit cards. Max out those. Yes. Zan said millennials are survivors. Absolutely. Yeah, Nita knows that part. we had to do it all, you know, on our own. So it's like, I understand, you know, when I have clients who are millennials like me, I understand why those individuals stick around so long, you know, because we're so hyper committed to success. We're so hyper, like, it's a difference between being committed to success and a difference between we're so committed to success is that we look for failures and cracks and things, so we can know how to feel it, you know, so we can know how to feel it. So that's what's so important. So sorry, y'all, my silences are acting up. And even going back to my history, you know, the generation before, the millennial generation, they were, oh, don't eat daddy's picture. The millennial before the generation before the millennial generation, their education was based on, you want to go to war? Go ahead, cause girl, you're doing too much right now. I'm trying to stay focused. They were solely based, their education was solely based on skills. If you notice, if you're a millennial and the generation before you, they were mechanics, they were bakers, they were sewers, they had a skill set. So, for example, my dad was a mechanic. He was certified as a mechanic. I had another family member that was certified in electrician. Other people who were certified in plumbing. There used to be this program called BOCES, and I think they're still in Westbury now. Those of y'all who I graduated high school with, let me know if BOCES is still around. But back then, BOCES was a center where you went there for the whole purpose of learning a skill set. They are okay. Good. I'm really glad they're still around, because we had two in our town, and one of them they closed down. There was another one on Brush Hollow Road that I believe is still open. I hope it's still open. But support and donate to any BOCES center in your town, guys. I'm telling you, they do some great things. But anyway, BOCES you go there and you learn a skill set. You learn how to cook. You learn how to about mechanics and electrician, architect, things like that. So I think it's in Westchester. You think it's in Westchester? I'm gonna look up, see if there's still one in Westbury, because that one was huge. That one was big. That was a huge BOCES. And at one point they remodeled it, but I haven't been over there in a minute. But, you know, like, for example, my father was a mechanic. I had family members who was an electrician. So basically they earn an income off of their skill set. Because even if my father wasn't working, he was still working. Because people would pay him to fix their cars. You know, my brother was a DJ. You know, Zan, my brother used to DJ. And so he would be out all night doing parties and things like that. It was one point my brother didn't have a job for years, because he would make he would get, like, back then, getting $700 for, you know, cutting records. Back then we had records. Okay, now I don't know what y'all have now, but back then we had, you know, and he had speakers that was high as this house. Okay, if y'all know what Killer One is, that was my brother's, like, DJing crew. But he would, you know, get $700 in one night, and oh my God, it's like he was the man. He was the man. Yes, Westbury. Yep. So they still have one in Westbury. Thank you, Nina. So that's was generation before, but our generation, Nina, you know, we were told, don't worry about getting no skill set. Get an education. Get an education. I don't be talking bad. I'm not talking bad about this. Let me tell you something. I loves me a vinyl, honey. Okay? I was making fun of, like, the kids now who are doing DJing, and they're doing, like, I don't know what the heck that is that they're using, the circle thing, and it's like, I don't like, what y'all putting in there, a CD or something? I don't know how y'all DJing now, but back then we used vinyl records. And I couldn't touch him. He had, like, milk crates of them. Okay, I couldn't touch him at all, honey. I couldn't touch him. One time I played with his little DJing set, and I was, like, doing, like how he was doing, and I broke his needle. The needle, you know, I don't know what it's called, but you know when you're playing a record and you put that little needle down and it plays on the speaker? I broke that, and he got so mad at me. Oh, my God. Woo! Boy, he got so mad at me. Oh, I'll never forget that day. He's like 5 years older than me. He was pissed. Okay. I was trying to be like him. How everything's digital. Yeah, everything's digital. I don't know how they do the whole digital thing. Hey, Tawanta. Y'all, I need to bring Tawanta on my live one day so y'all can see her product she's offering. Yeah. Hold on. Love the snap, crackle, and pop that come. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, honey, I broke his needle. Yeah, they had a trade. Yep, that's what I meant, a trade. Yes. Absolutely. So, yeah, so, okay, I gotta go because she is really doing the most right now. So, so like I said, you know, if you are a millennial like me, how many of y'all were born in between 1977 and 1995? Type in me in the comments. How many of y'all were born? Y'all don't have to say your age, honey, if you don't want to. But the most of the women that I know that have a business who were born between 1977 to 1995, we all have kids in some form of another. We are either in a relationship or married or separated, divorced. We, you know, my generation, I want to say we had the high divorce rate. I forgot which generation that is that has the high divorce rate. I know it's not mine. I'm a proud boomer. You go, girl. Boom, honey, boom. Yes. Yeah. That's what I was talking about with the baby boomers too, Teresa, if you were on. Is that you guys learned to trade. You had a trade. There was a center in my old town called Bosie's, and they would teach everything based on trade. Everything based on, okay, you want to learn how to cook? Go down the hall to the cooking class wing, the culinary education, where they're going to teach you how to cook. You want to learn how to be a mechanic, right? There was different sections of the building where you learn to particular trade, and then you get certified. You actually get certification, you know, in those trades to where you can get a job, you know, in that trade. My father used to work for a factory. He used to fix the trucks, the trucks and everything, the machines that, you know, those machines that has the belts, you know, bottles going through. He used to fix all that stuff. Boom, honey, boom, boom. Let's shake the room. That's right, Zan. Y'all better make sure y'all following Zan. Oh my God, I wish I could bring you on here. Yeah, you had a skill set. That's right. Marketable skills. That's it. There you go, Mr. Go ahead, Miss Teresa. Yeah, so Teresa, you know, you're a baby boomer, so you need to market to women who are also baby boomers as well. Because, girl, you know this, honey. That's the thing. Sometimes it's hard for us to, okay, you have to, in a business, and I'm about to launch a course very soon about this. In a business, you got to be relatable. Because when we're making copy for you, we have to have some sense of telling a story. So that way, whoever's reading your copy, they can relate to that moment. Like when I send an email out to my list, and there are other millennials also on my list, and I share the same story I told you guys, hands get raised because they could relate. They could go back to that moment when they graduated college, that moment when September 11th happened, their graduation year of high school, okay, or even before that, and they say, you know, you saw so much stuff going on in the economy. You're like, wait a minute, what's going on? Something is weird happened. There's a pattern interrupt. Now there's a difference from how things was before to now, and it was a drastic difference. Just the same thing that happened with the C word. Y'all know what the C word means. Last year happened to us years ago, but not you know, in a virus sense, right? But it was a huge change, adjustment, a shift that happened so fast to the point where we couldn't be prepared for it. It's almost like somebody snuffed you. You okay? Like, I've never been snuffed because I'm always ready. I'm ready right now. Okay? But I'm talking about, like, if you know somebody to approach you and about to lay hands on you, you can get ready like, okay, what? Come on. But when somebody snuffs you, you're not going to see it coming. So it's like we did not see all these shifts coming. Like, we got snuffed and jumped and windmilled and having to get up and say, well, who hit me? Oh my God, which one of y'all hit me? We wasn't prepared. So when you're prepared, you're prepared. You're setting up. So win, lose, or draw, you was prepared for it. Okay. We wasn't prepared. Okay, let me see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Teresa. Yes, but we don't. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. So now, even stepping into what you're talking about is so essential. It's so essential to them, right? So Diane said, Generation X behind baby boomers. That's right. That's right. The forgotten generation. Generation X is considered the forgotten generation. Absolutely. Letitia yeah, I'm ready right now. You stay ready. So she don't have, not at all, baby. Not at all, honey. I'm like Tammy in Love and Hip Hop. Like, I'm ready right now. I stay ready. I was like, that's my girl. You can tell Tammy is from New York, honey, because that's how we are. But like I said, you got to know who you're talking to. It's so important to prepare your business, to prepare your marketing calendar. I mean, all those things, right? All those things. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I feel like, this is a shift that's happening with my brand. Well, not really a shift, because, I'm still talking about the same thing. It's really getting a bullseye on who I'm actually talking to. Now, I serve everybody no matter what. Like, Teresita is my client. She is a baby boomer, Diane is my client. She's a Generation Xer. But the huge, you ever make that circle chart? Right in the smack dab middle is millennials like me. Right in the smack boom. Okay? So, yeah. So, listen, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you're not already part of my Emailpreneur Tribe, get inside right now. You can actually join for free. After the 14th is the deadline to join my Emailpreneur Tribe, because I will be closing out that program. And just working with the clients who are in there now. So make sure you get inside. Make sure you get inside, because I'm definitely not going to be promoting that again until probably late next year. And it's going to be I'm warning y'all now. The next time I launch the Emailpreneur Tribe is going to be a couple of $100s a month. Hands down. Now, right now, the lowest package for my Emailpreneur Tribe, those of y'all who want to get your email copy written, your ads written, all those things, the lowest package is $39 a month. Okay? That's the low end. Next time I launch this, which will be later on, way next year, it's going to be a couple of $100s a month. Because again, this is not a membership program like you guys are normally used to signing up for with other people, where you sign up and they just put you in a Facebook group, tag you under a few posts and say, hey, watch these videos, and guess what? I'm going to pop in once a month to do a Facebook Live. Like, no shade, girl. No shade to that. That's what you do. We all got to make our coins, honey. But me personally, I'm about impact and really helping people. And I know that courses without a service, memberships without a service attachments to it, you're going to have members in there that are just going to drop off after a couple of months and not really get a result. And I want every single member, I can't please everybody now, but I want every single member to have a result and to walk away with something every single month with inside of my Emailpreneur Tribe. So again, the link is, Teresa, if you're on here, if you could put the link in the chat, or anybody else who's on here, bit.ly/Emailpreneur Tribe now. Emailpreneur Tribe now. It's all lowercase, so that you can get inside of the tribe today. Generation X was a generation before yeah, it was really in between, to be honest, Zan. It was in between the baby boomers and the millennials. It's like that, really, like, I think I should have wrote this down, because I did read part of that this morning. That's why they called, like, the forgotten generation, That's why. Those Generation Xers are the ones at the, are the ones who are extremely overqualified a lot of times for the position that they're in, but the most forgotten about, and so much layers to Generation Xers. But yeah, And you find that Generation Xers sometimes don't speak up for themselves. You know, I mean, if you do, that's I'm not shading that, but you find that like they know they're overqualified, but they won't demand saying, listen, no, this is how much I want to get paid. You know, so I find like that to be true as well. All right, y'all. So listen, go to that link, and I'm sorry, my comments are just stopped. Yeah, get that money. Impact drives income. Totally. Impact drives income. Absolutely. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry about the baby and all. Well, actually, I'm not sorry because I'm like a mom. It is what it is. What are you doing? Hey. I see you. I'm sorry. Y'all know my kids, all their names rhyme. So I just say A and one of them pop their head up. So then I'll talk to them. Yeah. What you doing? What you doing, booger? You got your passy. Don't you come on this camera because your hair is not done, Valora. No. No. Don't get no, girl. Your hair is not done. Okay.
Yes, I am. Yes,
Don't do that. Don't, Valora. You ain't gonna get me cussed out.
Yes, I am.
You ain't gonna get me cussed out.
Yes, I am.
Say hi. Say bye-bye. Thank you, Zan. Zan said the baby is totally cool. Thank you. She's a cool girl. It's my 1-year-old. Yeah. This is the one she's the ringleader. Yeah. Stop it, Blue. You ever heard the Bernie Mac episode? Like, this one right here is the ring freaking leader. She gathers all the... Watch out now. All right. Go play with her. Mommy's almost done. All right, let me look at your last few comments here, and then I'm going to hop off. All right, y'all. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank y'all so much for tuning in and watching. And as always, get out there and dominate. Bye, guys.